The main character syndrome refers to a psychological state in which a person begins to perceive events and relationships from films, books, or games as a kind of blueprint for their own life. Neuroscience helps explain why, when we watch or read, the same brain regions activate as when we experience events in real life: the visual cortex, the limbic system, and the mirror neuron network. Mirror neurons in particular simulate the emotions and actions of the characters, and the brain processes these signals almost as if they were genuine lived experiences. This is why deep immersion in a storyline can temporarily blur the line between fiction and reality. When someone frequently and intensely engages with such material, especially content that is emotionally charged, their neural pathways can gradually rewire to reinforce the behavioral patterns they've been living through on the screen. If that material depicts extreme or aggressive problem solving, the brain can slowly lower its perceptual threshold toward those actions, making them feel subjectively less alien and more feasible. It's a form of training, but instead of conditioning the body, it conditions emotional and behavioral responses. In my own work, I recall a striking case involving the apprehension of an individual responsible for a string of highly dangerous acts. During later interviews, he described how, in his youth, he became deeply absorbed in stories where the protagonist frequently resolved conflict through drastic measures. He had internalized these narratives so completely that he began to see such actions as a natural part of his own life script. According to him, in critical moments, he didn't experience a sense of crossing a forbidden line. His brain processed those decisions as though they were simply the next chapter in a familiar storyline. I often find myself reflecting on how fragile that mental boundary truly is, and how quickly it can erode under the weight of other people's stories. Why does one person watch the same thing, then simply get up to make a cup of tea, while another takes a step from which there is no return? And perhaps the most unsettling question for me as a profiler is this: what are the thoughts and images in our minds really made of, and do they ever fully belong to us?